Most people have experienced this at some point. You open a drawer and find things you haven't used in years, clothes that no longer fit, objects you forgot you owned, boxes that were meant to be sorted someday. And yet, when the moment comes to get rid of them, something stops you. You hesitate, you put the item back, you tell yourself you might need it later. From the outside, this behavior can look irrational. Why keep things that clearly serve no purpose anymore? But psychologically, the tendency to keep more than we need is very common, and it usually has little to do with carelessness or disorganization. More often, it reflects the way the human mind forms relationships with objects. To the brain, objects are rarely just objects. They often represent memories, possibilities, or security. A concert ticket might hold the memory of a night that mattered to you. A book might represent a version of yourself you once hoped to become. A piece of clothing might remind you of a different time in your life. When an object becomes tied to identity or memory, letting go of it can feel strangely personal. You're not just discarding an item. It can feel like discarding a small piece of your story. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as sentimental attachment to objects. The brain stores emotional experiences together with the physical items that were present at the time. When we see the object again, the memory resurfaces, making the item feel more valuable than it objectively is. Another powerful factor is something called loss aversion. Loss aversion is a well-known principle in behavioral psychology. It describes the tendency for people to feel the pain of losing something more strongly than the pleasure of gaining something new. In other words, giving something up can feel worse than acquiring it ever felt good. Even if the object is rarely used, getting rid of it can trigger a subtle sense of loss. The mind begins imagining future situations where the item might become useful again. What if I need this later? What if I regret throwing it away? These possibilities are often unlikely, but the brain treats them as potential risks. Keeping the object removes that risk. There's another layer as well: future identity. Many people keep items not because they use them now, but because they represent a version of themselves they hope to become. Exercise equipment might represent the person you plan to become more active. Unread books might represent a future version of you with more time. Clothes that no longer fit might represent a version of yourself you hope to return to. Letting go of those items can feel like letting go of those possibilities, so the objects stay, sometimes for years. There's also a deeper instinct involved. Throughout human history, resources were uncertain. Having extra tools or supplies could mean the difference between safety and hardship. Even though modern life is very different, the brain still carries some of those instincts. Having more can feel safer than having less. None of this means that everyone who keeps extra things is hoarding or struggling psychologically. Mild forms of this behavior are extremely common. The brain is simply trying to avoid regret, preserve memories, and maintain a sense of security. However, problems begin when possessions start interfering with daily life, when spaces become difficult to use, when the presence of objects creates stress rather than comfort, or when letting go feels impossible rather than simply difficult. At that point, the behavior may move closer to what psychologists describe as hoarding tendencies. Hoarding disorder is a clinical condition where discarding items causes significant distress and possessions accumulate to the point that living spaces become compromised. But most people who keep too many things are not experiencing a disorder. They're experiencing ordinary psychological mechanisms that have simply gone a little too far. Understanding those mechanisms can change how we approach the problem. Instead of asking, "Why can't I throw things away?" it can be more helpful to ask, "What does this object represent to me? Is it a memory, a possibility, a sense of security?" Once the meaning is identified, it often becomes easier to decide whether the object still needs to stay. Sometimes the memory can exist without the item. Sometimes the future identity it represents can be pursued without keeping the physical reminder. The goal isn't necessarily to own as little as possible. Minimalism works for some people, but it isn't psychologically necessary. The real goal is alignment. The things we keep should support our present life, not weigh it down with unresolved decisions from the past. When the objects around us reflect who we are now, rather than who we used to be, the space around us begins to feel clearer, not just physically, but mentally as well. Because sometimes the clutter around us isn't really about objects at all. It's about memory, identity, and the human tendency to hold on to things that once meant something. Subscribe if you want more psychology that explains your patterns instead of blaming you.